You are looking live. It's a beautiful Denny's Fields. Nice Austin day, a little hot, but that's why Texas is inside that building right there, the bubble for the Wednesday practice. Can the Horns avenge the loss of last year to Iowa State, 28-21? We'll cover practice for the next hour. Texas practice begins right now. Welcome to Texas football practice. We'll be here for the next year. As you can see, Christian Scott will be making his return for the Texas football team after sitting out 3 games for a suspension. Eligible for the first game this year, and the safety will probably be in action. The Texas secondary has been excellent so far this year, and we'll see if Christian Scott can make his way into the Iowa State game. We welcome you to Texas football practice. Kevin Dunn, Ahmad Brooks will join me shortly. And joining us right now, the head coach for the Texas football Longhorns, Mack Brown. Coach, the Wednesday practice, let's talk about Iowa State and what they present. Steele Jantz, if you watch him on film, moves around, a lot of off-schedule plays. What kind of a problem does he impose for your defense?
Steele Jantz extends plays with his feet and his athletic ability. You don't have to go any further than a play late in the Iowa game where he steps up, he starts to make the play inside. Looks like it might be a run, maybe a jump pass, then he sprints out to his right and scores a touchdown to put him in overtime, and then he leads them in overtime to the victory. Very good football player. When you got a quarterback that's making plays, you got a chance.
Well, your defense will definitely have their hands full with Steele Jantz, and you look at both teams, both Iowa State and Texas have been very good in the second half. Fourth quarter teams, Jantz has 4 touchdowns, no interceptions in the fourth quarter. Is that something you talk to your team about?
Constantly, Kevin. Even out here during practice, we will hold up the 4 fingers and go through a ritual that we do during the game about the fourth quarter. You got to finish strong. Iowa State's come from behind for 3 times in the fourth quarter to win the game. We've been really strong in the fourth quarter, so I would think that this will be a fourth quarter football game.
Well, some people may not know, but you coached at Iowa State for 3 years, from 79 to 81. You know what the environment's like, but Paul Rhoads has done an excellent job since he's been there. What kind of environment do you expect on Saturday?
Well, you go back to Dan McCarney. He did a great job, and Dan's already doing a good job at North Texas, beating Indiana last weekend. You go back to Gene Chizik. Some of these guys have been recruited by Gene Chizik, and he was starting to turn it, even though he didn't have a good record when he was there. Paul Rhoads has taken these good players, added to them. They're faster, they're deeper. He's very passionate, he's very emotional. Did a great job coaching defense up at Pittsburgh. Another great job coaching defense down at Auburn, and he was one of the top defensive coaches in the country. So they play tough, they play physical, and I thought they were more physical than we were last year.
Well, Coach, we're expecting a good game. Good luck Saturday.
Thanks, Kevin.
Head coach Mack Brown joining us here on Texas practice. We take a look at what our Wednesday headlines will be for this practice. Well, Mack said yesterday, I just watched the football game last year, and I'm not happy. You can see why. Iowa State beat Texas 28-21, the first win for Iowa State ever against Texas. And as Paul Rhoads said, if not the biggest, one of the biggest wins in our program's history. So far, so good for Texas this year. They enter Big 12 play at 3-0, a very dominant effort against UCLA. We'll talk about the Horns and what to expect against Iowa State. But one of the guys you can't expect to play a lot is this freshman, Malcolm Brown. 52 carries, 264 yards. That leads the Longhorns. He is really, for as highly touted as a guy as he was, he has lived up to the billing so far. And we welcome in now Ahmad Brooks, the former Texas defensive back. And you heard Coach talk about Iowa State, what he expects. What can we expect from practice today? Because yesterday they were in full pads, and they were going, as you said, 85, 90% speed. They were really getting after it. Now they're in shells, the shoulder pads, the helmets. What kind of intensity should we expect?
Well, definitely the bye week is an opportunity for you to work on the fundamentals. They did that by going over tackling drills and being very physical. You saw them yesterday come out in full pads. Today they're trying to back off. Now what you look for in practice is still for this team to be extremely fast, move to the ball very quickly. In the meantime, you want to make sure that you're taking care of your teammates, as we talked about yesterday. Don't want to have any opportunities to run into another player and bang up a knee. Preventing those types of injuries really helps, but it also takes an incredible pace to come out here and still be prepared for Saturday.
Well, we see Texas right now with the music getting loose. In many ways, you see Case McCoy doing a little 70s dance right there. Case wasn't around when that thing was around, but you know, I want to ask you as we take a look at Jeff Madden getting them all ready. And look at the Stacy Searles. This is the offensive line coach. This is an old ball coach right here doing push-ups. You ever seen that?
You know, I haven't, and I love it. And, you know, and it goes
As a
back.
player, would that fire you up?
No question about it. And the behind-the-scenes all-access piece that you can only find here on the Longhorn Network, I thought it was great. It summed it up. It talked about exactly what these young players are looking for. And the challenge was that Stacy Searles didn't have any guns. So these players challenged him to a push-up competition, and he accepted it. And now you have all the team doing it. And I think that is just a great way for them to continue to gel together and build, and it's been fantastic for this group.
Oh, and that all access, which you can catch Wednesdays at 8 right here on Longhorn Network, re-airs Thursdays at 1. It's just a great show, and they go all access with the football team. And with that push-up drill, you saw the running backs. Major Applewhite said, you know what? The offensive line's going to do push-ups. We're going to go down there. These are two units that have to work together. For the running backs to work, the offensive line has to work. And you saw Major Applewhite, as he said, not giving his best effort on push-ups. Now, Major's our age now, so he's getting in the early 30s, where I don't think the push-ups were as easy as they were at 18. You take a look at the offensive line and Stacy Searles. We'll certainly focus on the offensive line, what they've been able to do. Take a look at the quarterbacks, including a new quarterback with a different number today. So we'll get into Michael Thompson and what exactly is going on there. Obviously, take a look at the defense. And Ahmad, I want to get your thoughts on a couple different guys. We'll talk about Darius Reynolds, who is a big-time wide receiver for Iowa State. He's definitely a guy who, as a defensive back, you would look at and circle him if you knew you had to go up against him. So we'll get into all that, and you take a look at right now, they are stretching. Well, we'll be back with more than stretching when Texas practice continues right after this. Welcome back to Texas football practice. Joining us now is assistant head coach and defensive backs coach Duane Akina. Coach, we always love talking with you, and this week you get another player back. Christian Scott started 10 games last year. What kind of impact can he have against Iowa State?
Well, he's a veteran player that's made a lot of plays for us. I think number one, when you talk about Christian Scott, is just the physical nature he brings to the game. And it's something that we're really proud of in our room there, that you know, we want to be good, outstanding cover people, but we want to have a physical presence while we're out there. And Christian is one of the lead dogs in that area. Very physical player, very smart player, has a lot of football games under his belt. So his leadership is something else that we're excited to get back, and his special teams abilities. It's just a big athlete like that can run. You got a lot of variety on how to use him.
Well, it's good timing, because as you gain one safety, you also lose Nolan Brewster. Can you talk about just the personal impact and also the impact that it's going to have on the secondary?
Yeah, I think Nolan is another. He's a veteran football player that's had a lot of games for us, and so, you know, that's a blow to us. He's been a good football player and a great guy, and it's always tough, you know, just being a parent when you see somebody that has such great passion for the game, and just out of nowhere it's been taken from them. But we're very blessed that our medical staff and the University of Texas has been able to really be very thorough with this for him and his parents to really know that he's good. We got this early, but it's a difficult time for Nolan. And he's a big loss for us in all the special teams. He's been the special teams player of the year for us. And so, you know, but as always, now that's part of the game, and it's a who's next philosophy. You know, a loss here is a gain for somebody else that's going to get a great opportunity. One of these young safeties, Sherrod Evans and Michael Thompson, are going to get some great opportunities now.
When I watch football on Sundays, I see your work all over the field. You have 10 former defensive backs that are playing in the NFL. Aaron Ross has 2 picks, game changer for the New York Giants this last weekend. How fun is it for you after Saturday to be able to sit there on Sunday and watch these guys you coach?
Well, it really is a joy knowing that you've maybe had in some small way, given these guys an opportunity to reach their childhood dream. They're all playing well. It's a great fraternity. What's neat about all the guys is, you know, much like the ones prior to Ahmad Brooks and Rod Babers and those that have been before them and Jammer, they come back and they stay close to the room, because I think that's important. Because the guys before him have set a high standard for us to live up to. And it's because of those that have been before us is that we continue to chase that level of success. And so I'm really proud to be part of that room.
Well, Coach, we appreciate the time as always.
Thank you very much.
Assistant head coach and also secondary coach Duane Akina. Texas football practice will continue right after this.